In the last video, I turned this house and your questions were. So let's get some answers. Found this tiny terraced house on Rightmove. It has no garden, no upstairs loo. I went to visit and it was very dark, narrow, small, no garden, narrow kitchen, bright upstairs. So my big idea was to flip it upside down, put a roof terrace on the flat roof and give it a garden. So I've refined the design over the last week, taking the sketches into computer plans and working out where lots of storage can go. I've managed to squeeze quite a lot in, 11.3 cubic meters. But what does that actually mean in reality? How can we visualize it? I've got an idea. One of these Euro bins holds 1.1 cubic meters. That means the house on the ground floor has 10 times this in storage. Let's see how the storage design works in detail. In the main bedroom at the front, there's a full width wardrobe. In the entrance hall, there's a large storage cupboard, which I've got a good idea for what you can fit in it. I've recently started building some storage that is exactly the same size using pull-out drawers and Euro crate size boxes, and this would fit in that cupboard. There's a cloaks cupboard next to that. The bathroom's behind these cupboards with a walk-in shower. If you wanted a bath, you just have a smaller cupboard. There's a boiler cupboard and space for a hoover. There's a laundry room which has got space for a washing machine and a tumble dryer and storage over the top. Getting the noisy washing machine out of the first floor open plan living room is really important, and raising them up on a shelf makes them much more accessible. The second bedroom has a wardrobe, and also because we've got this fitted bed, there's plenty of storage under, and the shed at the back gives another 6 cubic meters that's not included in the 11 within the house. This little cozy nook bed built in at the end of the bedroom, great for storage, but also creates a nice space within what is quite a narrow room. That's the ground floor working really well. Let's go upstairs and see how the roof terrace and open plan living room look. On the first floor, we've just got one wall of storage that incorporates the kitchen and the living space with TV, and then utilising the space up in the open roof for even more storage. I've shown it with open shelves, but perhaps more practically it would have doors. This is a scale model of the entire house. We need to remove this ceiling to create this open space and strengthen this flat roof so that we can walk on it. We need to speak to an engineer. Hello, Howard.
Hi there, Carl. I've seen the original video.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the roof, we're hoping to remove that ceiling. I mean, you could leave it as it is and you'd still have the open plan space on the top floor, but ideally you'd want to open it up, put 2 roof lights, bring light in. What are the implications of that on the structure?
We need to make sure that the roof doesn't splay.
A pitched roof like this forms a strong triangle. When we cut the ceiling ties, that triangle is broken and the roof splays. And the easy way to stop it splaying
Is to insert a ridge beam just underneath the rafters at the apex of the roof.
So to strengthen the roof, as Howard suggests, we're going to introduce a steel beam at the ridge and then 2 new purlins spanning the width of the roof. And that creates a stiff roof even without the ceiling.
And that would take the vertical load of the rafters, strengthen or replace the purlins so that the purlins themselves can span the full distance between party walls. So I think it's all doable. It's certainly not a whole-scale roof removal and replacement.
The roof terrace, what we need to do to make that up as a floor?
First of all, we need to check the timbers, see what capacity they've got in and how far they're spanning. Insert new timbers next to or amongst them, effectively doubling them up.
Howard's suggestion is to insert new beams alongside the existing beams to make them stronger. And these new timber beams now mean the roof is strong enough to take a roof terrace and the heavier load that this brings.
Thanks, Carl.
Well, thanks, Howard. Thanks for your time. That's the structure sorted. Let's talk about the planning implications for a new roof terrace. The roof terrace obviously will need planning. There are three key issues: loss of light, overlooking, and loss of privacy. I think we can deal with all of those. Whether the planners give us consent for it is another matter. The orientation is really important here. So north is this way. So the sun is rising in the morning here and moving round during the day. The property to the north has a window here. It's not impacted in terms of privacy. The screen wall deals with that. The screen wall isn't projecting shadows or blocking light into that window at all. Whilst from that window you can see the screen wall, it's not really changing the view dramatically. The property to the south is impacted by this proposal. There's no doubt, you can't hide from that. So the key issues are overlooking and privacy. The idea of the screen wall and the planter along here is to prevent views looking back into this bedroom window and also looking down into this side passageway. The screen wall deals with this very successfully. Now, obviously there is a change from this bedroom window's outlook. They're now looking out and seeing this screen here. But I think the recent planning approval I got for a house nearby, where I put a first floor full extension here on a very similar house, suggests that actually the planners wouldn't be too bothered about that. An alternative that would have less impact on the property to the south is to have a smaller balcony space. This still gives you the benefit of the open plan space on the top floor and all the views and light out, whilst perhaps dealing with some potential planning issues of the larger terrace. So there you have it. We've looked at the three issues that the planners would consider for any planning application. I think we can tackle all of them, and I think it stands a good chance. But would I buy the house if I was only buying it to do that roof terrace? No. And finally, let's speak to a builder and find out how much this is going to cost. No one, I believe, in architect telling them that it's, but they will believe Mark.
So, Mark.
The best way to get a budget estimate is to speak to a builder. I've worked with Mark for over 10 years, so I figured he was the man for the job. We sat down and went through it in quite a lot of detail, and we came up with some budget estimates. So we've broken the total price down into 8 chunks. The first bit is heating and electrics, and that's 9,500. That includes a heating system, a rewire. Bathroom, 4,200. So that's a mid-range.
Standard suite, tiling.
Kitchen,
7,800.
7,800.
It's a good quality kitchen, all your appliances and worktops.
And then internal walls, which includes building all these new bathroom walls, replastering, forming door opening. £6,000.
Yep.
The roof, based on Howard's design, £6,000.
One ridge beam, 2 purlins and plastered skillion.
Doors and windows. So UPVC windows.
Double glazed, yep. And all internal doors.
4,500. Decoration and a floor finish.
And that'll be an LVT flooring, £40 a metre.
Right, then the roof terrace, £9,800. Broken into 3 bits. There's the roof structure and insulation, then the decking,
Composite decking on adjustable pedestals.
and the screens and the planter to deal with the sort of planning, looking in and looking out.
Not including the plants though.
So Mark, a budget cost of,
52,200.
and that includes VAT,
Yes.
and we think a contingency of 5 or 10% is a good idea, and then there's some fees, adds another 7,000 to the cost.
Yeah, I would say we would probably be around the 5% contingency because we're not digging any foundations, so there isn't really any unknown.
Great. So that makes a total cost of 59,000. So there you have it. That completes the picture. You know how much it'll cost, you know the chance of planning, you understand about the structure, and we've refined the design to include lots of storage. That is the design process. You start with an initial idea and develop that through to something more refined. This project, if it ever went ahead, would need a lot more development to take it through planning and building regulations and to get it built. Right, I think I've milked that upside down house idea. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be redesigning this and this.
Spokes hum like whispers in the wind. Tires trace the lines where journeys begin.